Hi, welcome to another edition of Craig's Bold Prediction and Movie Review. This is for this coming weekend of January 8th through January 10th. And two new movies are coming out. We're also going to cover update on how the numbers are going to be doing this weekend, my predictions for those, and also give a few number updates on Star Wars, where it's at right now, and also review what the bold prediction that I've had over the last couple of weeks and kind of maybe see where we're going to be at on those numbers as well. So first off is the movie The Forest, and it is a thriller that's starring Natalie Dormer. She's from Game of Thrones, if you don't know who she is. And the trailers on this movie, you know, it's a scary movie. They look great though. It's only a 90-minute movie, you know, and what it's about is her twin sister goes to this forest, and she's disappeared. This forest is at the base of Mount Fuji, and legend has it that it's a suicide forest where people go to kill themselves. And her sister has not returned, and so that's what the story's about. She goes to find her sister. And anybody that goes into the forest, there's a basic rule of don't leave the path. So guess what this movie's about? She leaves the path. You know, it's something you would think wouldn't be too hard to think, especially a place where it's legends of, you know, it's haunted and everything else. So that's what the story's about. Kind of like Gremlins. Don't water them. Don't feed them after midnight. All that great stuff. So pretty simple rule. You break the rule, lots of things happen, and it's all scary. So I'm giving a prediction of this movie at $14.7 million for this coming weekend. So looking forward to seeing how this movie does for the 3-day weekend. Next is the Revenant. Hope I'm saying that right. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy. This movie's got a $135 million budget and is coming in right at 2.5 hours. It's supposedly inspired on true stories that happened in the 1820s, and Leonardo DiCaprio plays a guy by the name of Hugh Glass, and I've never heard of him, but basically what happens is it's a hunting party out. He gets mauled by a bear. They think he's going to die anyway, so they bury him, and it sounds like he might have been buried alive as well. And he actually survives, and he decides to seek vengeance on those that had left him behind. So there's a little bit more detail into it, but I don't want to share too much. So the movie looks pretty good, big budget. I think this movie's going to do very well this weekend. A lot of people are predicting it's coming a little bit low, and I don't know if that's just based on how the Hateful Eight did last weekend. But I'm going to make a bold prediction that this movie makes $31.2 million this coming weekend. So I think it's going to be big numbers, and I think it's going to be a great showing for this movie as well. Real quick, an update on Star Wars. It has actually crossed on Wednesday as being the highest domestic U.S. gross movie of all time, not counting for inflation. It did beat out Avatar on Wednesday of $760 million, and I think right now it's sitting at $770 million, if I remember right, as of last night. So it's continuing to do great, and you know, one of my bold prediction numbers for the final tally for the U.S. was $915 million. I'm still feeling really good about that number. So made that several weeks ago. So I'm very excited to see where this movie ends up finishing once it's all said and done. Now let's go to the weekly predictions of the holdovers that I have. The Hateful Eight's the first movie. Didn't have a great start actually. It did have a decent start, but last weekend didn't look as good as it should have been. I'm predicting $8.5 million for this coming weekend. If you want to get a great review on this movie, tune over to YouTube channel Just a Guy. He saw this movie last weekend when it came out. Great review on the movie, so check him out. Once again, it's Just a Guy on YouTube channel. Next is Daddy's Home. I believe this movie will continue to have a great weekend. It's going to be a bigger drop than what it had did over the Christmas holiday, but that's normal. Less people going to see movies. Got some weather coming in as well across a lot of the U.S., so that may factor in as well. I'm putting it in at $16.5 million for this coming weekend. Next is the movie Chipmunks. It's been out there for several weeks now. I think it'll see a bigger drop as well. Still going to do decent for this weekend. I'm putting it in at $7.2 million. Next is the movie Joy. It's done okay. It's starting to wind down. Probably only be out for another couple of weeks. I'm going to put it in at 5.7 million this coming weekend. Next is the movie Concussion with Will Smith. Still low numbers overall. It's doing decent though, but I'm going to put it in at 4.3 million this coming weekend. I think it will probably be out for another week or two, and then that'll probably be it until after the Oscars, because it will probably get some nods or the Golden Globes and so forth, so then they'll probably try a second run with it. Next is Point Break. I just wish this movie would go away, but since it's still there, I thought I'd give another prediction on it. I'm going to put it at 3.5 million for this weekend, and I think that may be even high. So it did 6.8 last weekend. I think it will at least do half that, if not even more of a percentage drop. So, but I'm going to put it in at 3.5. And last but not least is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Still another tough week to decide where this movie could fall. Last week it finished at, I think it was a little over 90 million. I'm going to put it right at 52.25 million for this coming weekend. It's going to be a stretch, I think, to hit that number, but that's about where I think it's going to fall in. It's about a 45% drop, roughly, so we'll see what happens, though. Next time on the show, we're going to review the numbers from this past weekend. Looking forward to doing that. Also, we'll get an update on where the China box office, how it did this coming weekend. Hopefully, we'll have some numbers by Monday, if not Tuesday. I may have made a bold prediction a couple weeks ago of 295 million. So we'll see how this movie does over the course of its run at the China box office. And be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Take care.